What's up, everybody? Celtic Gecker back with another video. Get those 10s and 20 views. Today, we are going back to the well. I was trying to figure a few things out, but have failed miserably. But we are going to be reacting to Death Battle. Had to find an old one that I had never seen, and we have found Beast versus Goliath, from two TV shows from my childhood that I truly love, which is X-Men and Gargoyles. I have not seen it. It should be great. It's old. I hopefully don't have to fuss too much with copyright stuff with it. I was trying to flip the image, but I don't know if I have the why it wasn't not working for me like that, so who knows? I'm not fussing with it now, so let's get down to it because I am starting to melt without my air conditioning on, and I feel like wandering over to Wawa to get myself a tea before tonight, which is technically, this is being filmed on Friday Night Frights over on Kick. But let's get to it. Oh, you can just see how old this is with the old graphics and style and animation.
Some of the greatest heroes of all are shunned by the very people they continue to protect.
Basically the worst deal ever.
Like Beast, the blue genius of the X-Men.
And Goliath, the gargoyle who gives new meaning to the phrase tough as stone.
True.
He's wears an iron boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Well, armor is neither. They both run around in pretty much underwear.
Mutation, the key to evolution. The process is slow, normally taking thousands of years. But every few hundred millennia, evolution leaps forward.
If that means we're all eventually gonna transform into blue hairy monkey men, count me out.
Feared by most normal people, mutants generally begin to show signs of their uniqueness around puberty. Not so for Hank McCoy.
Yeah, the instant he popped out, it was pretty clear that something was different about him. Namely the giant monkey hands and feet. Whew, that must have been rough on the way out. He better give dear old mom double the presents on Mother's Day.
The price of shoes. Which is weird because he was a football player. I don't care. It's like, he's not on steroids. This is genetics. Let him be a running back or linebacker for that matter.
Until good old Wheels showed up and offered him a place on the mutant group known as the X-Men. Hank took on the nickname that was previously used to degrade him and transformed it into something new. His code name, the Beast.
Yeah, he was one of the original X-Men, along with Angel, Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Iceman. Oh, so this is such a great intro. This is the 90s anime intro. But I do like the fact they're showing a bunch of different X-Men.
As an X-Man, Beast became an integral member of this uncanny team. His superhuman strength, speed, and durability let him go toe-to-toe with baddies like the immovable Blob and Kraven the Hunter.
Let's see. He's 5'11", 402. He's a tank. Teacher at Xavier School, member of the Avengers. Like, oh yeah, he's a brainiac.
But Beast was a genius, like yours truly, and quickly completed his doctoral studies. Eventually leaving the X-Men, he became a leading researcher in mutant genetics. Desperate to cure the mutant phenomenon, Beast developed a serum which he theorized would temporarily counteract the mutated genes in his body.
Except it kind of did the opposite. Poor guy, now he truly was a beast. His transformation wasn't all bad, though. Fuzzy Beast could now lift over 10 tons, run over 40 miles per hour, and jump over 25 feet in the air.
He also had a wicked healing factor, which made him essentially bulletproof.
Also, you like the fact that you don't see Boom or Wiz or Boomstick on the video. Yeah, he did to himself, and a lot of different animation showed in different ways. Turned
But
blue.
this was nerfed dramatically from healing instantaneously to over a couple of hours when Quasimodo's experiments turned him blue.
For a scientific genius, he never did quite figure out how to turn back to his old self. I mean, he's been able to turn into a Catman, a Horseman, Blue Kelsey Grammer, and even Sasquatch. Somehow, he always ends up as his classic Blue Ape self.
Now unable to hide in plain sight, Beast had little choice but to return to the X-Men as a teacher and a leader.
As my research makes evident, it is possible to enhance the intelligence of mollusca cephalopoda, such as the squid, to the same level as that of the average human. Even a little above average. I'm afraid I must leave early, so I'll hand you over to my new teaching assistant, Mr. Cephalopod.
Hold on, everyone. Now, where were we? I asked the neurological aspects of cognitive intelligence. Were there any questions?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a fuzzy Tony Stark without the money.
Beast isn't just a genius, he's also a ridiculously strong fighter. He has survived hits from the Juggernaut, smashed open a tank with his bare fists, hit the ground with a punch so hard he created an earth-shattering shockwave, and lifted a solid gold oak tree.
A cubic foot of gold weighs approximately 1 ton. Comparing the diameter of the tree to Hank's height, it's reasonable to believe that this golden tree weighs at least 60 tons.
Or a shit ton, to be precise.
Yeah, I like the shit ton. Be better.
Despite his athletic skill and enormous strength, Beast is a pacifist, preferring diplomacy over fisticuffs. He is rarely eager to enter a fight. In combat, he usually relies on his teammates to throw punches while he holds back to come up with game-winning strategies using his brilliant mind.
Yeah, it was like an ancient, like, Asian philosophy story. Like, you'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener at war. That's Hank Pym in a Hank McCoy in a nutshell.
Like the time he figured out how to use Juggernaut's own bulk against him.
As Archimedes said when he discovered the principle of displacement, Eureka.
But when he gets angry, he'll enter a rage which makes him so uncontrollably fierce, he's a danger even to his closest friends. Literally unleashing the beast within.
X-Men Evolution, which is this scene, great anime. And it shows how to create new heroes. Kitty Pryde was a great example of this character right here.
Beast's monstrous appearance remained a permanent part of his life. He was never truly accepted by society, and even had to leave the woman he loved for fear she would become a target of mutant haters.
But if he could have his way, he would spend his days hanging from the ceiling with a nice cup of tea reading Shakespeare. But we don't always get what we want, so he'll have to settle for kicking ass.
With faint heart, averted feet, and many a tear, in our opposed path to persevere. A minor poet for a minor obstacle.
1,000 years ago, superstition and the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness. It was a world of fear. It was the age of gargoyles.
Middle era.
And
Middle age.
badass cartoon intros.
Stone by day, warriors by night, gargoyles used to be common throughout the world. Like the stone statues they inspired, gargoyles were known as protectors. Guarding their home and those inside was always their top priority.
It's not every day your garden statue is also your top-billed bodyguard. Otherwise, I'd have a shitload more lawn gnomes.
Yeah, and also, that's how you get a good night's sleep during war. Man, fight during the day. Sun's up. All right, go, relax. They got this. Who got it? Ahem.
In the year 994 AD, a clan of gargoyles formed a symbiotic relationship with the humans of a Scottish castle. Using their superhuman strength, keen senses, and warrior spirit, the gargoyles defended the castle from invaders at night. In return, their human allies would watch over them during the day when they are most vulnerable, as gargoyles turn to solid stone in daylight.
The gargoyles were led by Goliath, a creature with a voice so sexy it makes humans turn to stone, if you know what I'm saying.
You are trespassing.
Unfortunately, due to their beastly appearance, Goliath's clan eventually faced unjust prejudice from the very humans under their protection.
We are most seriously displeased to allow beasts in the dining hall.
These are unnatural creatures. No good can come from associating with them.
Tell them that, they leave, you get your ass kicked, and you're now under somebody else's rule who'll go look at them going, oh, Yeah, cool. Hang with us.
If that wasn't bad enough, Goliath was betrayed by his closest human friend, causing nearly his entire clan to be smashed to bits. Then the few that did survive were magically sealed in stone forever by a misinformed wizard. Talk about a shitty Monday.
Sealed in stone forever, or until one very specific, seemingly impossible criteria was met.
The terms of the spell were that they would sleep until the castle rises above the clouds.
And when he says above the clouds, he means it literally.
Yeah, magic, very literal. In every fantasy world, it's like, oh yeah, I said this, yeah, it means that.
So, stoned they remained for 1,000 years until in 1994.
Some billionaire with a name that sounds like an antidepressant just happened to be crazy enough to try something. Xanatos moved every last stone of the ancient castle to the top of his New York skyscraper, which happened to poke above the clouds.
The cost of which must have been astronomical.
Don't disappoint me.
Yeah. Tony Stark level of money. And of course, we get ads. Luckily, well, there's two of them. And we are back. I had two unskippable ads, unfortunately.
The curse was broken, the gargoyles awoke once again, and Goliath was tasked with leading his clan into the modern world. Despite being completely out of his element, Goliath adapted surprisingly fast.
You mean he was texting and watching cat videos in no time?
No.
94. There was no texting. Or really cat videos were on Merrick's Funny Some videos.
This was the 90s.
Oh, so he wore crazy colored clothing and used nonsensical description words like bodacious, radical, or...
Jalapeno.
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 Yeah,
Damn
not
it.
great then, but better.
Turns out Goliath was naturally suited to traverse the broad expanse of the city with his enormous wings. Though to be clear, Goliath insists that he can't fly, only glide on the wind.
Which I insist is bullshit. What else would you call what's happening right here other than friggin' flying?
Regardless of wind direction and speed, it seems Goliath has no trouble gliding wherever he wants to go. He only has issue taking off from the ground, requiring an elevated point to start from.
Good thing he can scale giant skyscrapers from ground level without breaking a sweat. Goliath is strong enough to lift a car, create a small earthquake, and tear through steel with his bare claws, like it was wet paper.
He's fast enough to keep pace with foes who use rocket-powered flight, and he's tough enough to survive a fall over 100 feet.
He was even able to keep gliding after being shot by a Nazi plane's machine gun while fighting in World War II. He traveled through time. It was weird.
Weird, but still good.
Goliath may look like a brutal monster, and he certainly can be when he goes into a rage. However, he's actually rather clever and wise. He was able to outsmart Oberon, who is practically an all-powerful magical god. And when Goliath's not leading his clan into battle or struggling to have a relationship with a human detective,
Boundaries!
he's usually holed up in his castle's library, reading.
Wise and powerful, Goliath is a true force of nature. For 12 hours of the day.
Yeah.
Right, the other 12, he's a motionless stone statue, making him a pretty easy target. Even when he's awake, Goliath often puts himself in danger for the sake of others, regardless of the risk.
Hey, he's managed to survive for over 1,000 years, and believe me when I say, you do not want to be on this gargoyle's bad side.
My name is Goliath, and I belong to no one.
Stop whining. A gargoyle doesn't whine. He roars!
Ancient Scottish mythical monster. Yeah, you're not enslaving him. Alright, based off of everything, I'm going with the one, the only, Hank McCoy. I think he could easily survive a 12-hour endurance fight to the sunrise and just crumble him when he turns back to stone.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
But in reality, those two probably wouldn't actually fight at all. They would just sit there going, why are we fighting? You want to read some poetry? You can hang out at Xavier Mansion. Actually, not probably a bad spot with random kids with powers, but you can come fly over at night and hang out. Gotta love how they're using like the old pixels from the video games that they're both in. That's why Hank looks so much better. Also, I like in the newer death battles, they actually give them a slight reason why they're fighting. Uh-oh. Something big's happening. I was wrong. I thought Beast would be smart enough to like dodge and take more damage, but
They never show you that shit on 90s cartoons.
Beast and Goliath were pretty even in terms of strength and speed, making this more so a battle of wit and experience.
yeah, battle experience would definitely go with Goliath.
Beast was always more of a team player, preferring not to fight directly unless absolutely necessary.
And since Goliath spent decades defending his ancient castle in New York from Vikings, thugs, magic beings, and ghosts, his combat experience trumped Beast's.
Also, be careful not to misinterpret Beast's golden tree feat. While it might sound far more impressive than anything Goliath has done, Beast did not actually lift the whole 60-plus ton tree off the ground. It's nothing surpassing his usual feats.
Hey, one time Goliath got nailed in the back by an anti-aircraft round. That's right, Goliath got shot by a gun designed to destroy airplanes, got back up and dropped a radio tower on the fools that tried it.
And Beast didn't wait until sunrise for an advantage for two reasons. One, he didn't know what would happen because gargoyles in his universe don't share the Stone by Day rule. And second, Beast isn't tough enough to stand against Goliath for 12 hours straight.
One, I would think he would know the Stone by Day rule due to the fact that he just watched the dude come out of stone. So that's out of logic there. But yeah, the stamina, that's where...
Finally, Beast has fought somebody similar to Goliath named the Griffin, and only survived the fight due to his fellow X-Men Angel's help.
In the end, Beast just didn't have the heart to keep up with the gargoyle.
The winner is Goliath.
I was wrong. I have no problems admitting that. I do like both shows. I might actually go back and rewatch Gargoyles now that they have won. But that is it. That is all I have for you today. Go outside. Get some sun. I know I need to do it myself. That's it. I'll see you weird people later.